of social unity in the history of mankind, and it is the inherent right of each group of people to use its language without restriction. For example, Mandela's first language was Xhosa. His mother's language, that's the way he communicated with the people he came across every day. He didn't need another language to ask his mom for food. He communicated to different people in 3 different languages to get his point across, but only English. For many citizens, English is not necessarily for survival. It is common for communities to be dominant in a culture or language, and individuals in the community might not feel the need to expand to other areas of the United States. Also, if English were made into the official language, then many citizens would be forced to learn the language, even if they do not have resources to do so. Learning a new language requires education and time, which can be very scarce in some areas. Many other Americans also disagree with Congress' decisions to try and pass this law. In an opinion-based article, an American citizen pointed out that, what if you are dealing with a government agency and it is important to understand what a form is saying? Later adding, the decent thing to do is to provide the information in the language they best comprehend. This person makes a valid point because in order to fully understand the content of a document and be able to make the best decision and or provide adequate information, then the document must be in a language that this individual can understand best. In a government website that supports the passing of this law, it is stated that declaring English the official language is essential and beneficial for the U.S. government and its citizens. Official English unites Americans who speak more than 322 languages by providing a common means of communication. It encourages immigrants to learn English in order to use government services and participate in the democratic process, and defines a much-needed common-sense language policy. Instead of embracing the different cultures and backgrounds of Americans, the government wants to generalize everyone into one same background. Enforcing English as the official language is focused more on benefiting the government and our citizens. Historically, even the original natives from America did not speak English. Even Christopher Columbus, the man we credit for the finding of America, was not an English speaker, but was fluent in Spanish. The origins of this country are based on diversity and on freedom. Making English the official language would only squander the very basis that this country was founded on. The diversity of America is what makes it uniquely beautiful. Every state and every city is different. But at the end of the day, we are united under the American lifestyle, which embodies diversity. Forcing a language upon people would just destroy the beauty of cultural traditions and differences. Growing up in the southwestern part of the United States, being exposed to different cultures and languages are very normal. Living close to the Mexican border gives you a full exposure of the immigration system and how immigrants bring the culture and language to the United States in search for a better future. Most come hungry for freedom, and with a limited understanding of English, with other 37 billion immigrants in the United States, it is unrealistic to expect of all of them to make English their dominant language. Whether your ancestors were founding fathers or whether you are a first-generation American, every citizen is under the Constitution of the United States and under the value of diversity that our country has always embodied. Forcing the English language on every individual will only violate these rights and values that Americans hold dearly. Because of this, English should not be voted